a second about my hands. They are glistening. I have the worst handshake ever. You want to shake my hand? Is that not the most disgusting handshake you've ever felt in your life, right? I have Edward Jizzer hands. They are disgusting. And the reason why is I am perpetually nervous and terrified because my experiences with women growing up were awful. I'm first going to tell you about the first time I ever said I love you. It was in an AOL chat room, of course. But my screen name was Poetic15 because I was a poetic 15-year-old and I wanted the world to knows it. And also AOL rejected my first screen name, The Jizz Blossoms. And I'm in this chat room, I'm spouting my poems, and this girl, Iguana Lover 69, comes in, which is just proof she's better than the first 68 Iguana Lovers. And she's like, hey, I like your poems. I'm like, why don't we move this to a private chat? Bow, 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 bow. And I realized that sounds more like a Seinfeld bass guitar and less like an erotic bass guitar. Hey girl, let's fuck. Bow, ba-dum, bow, bow. So we're in this private chat. I'm like, what are you into? She's like, poetry. I'm like, me too. Like, what else? She's like, comic books. I'm like, me too. Who's your favorite superhero? She's like, Batman. I'm like, me too. So obscure. And I'm like, is there anything else you're into? She's like, you and your smile. And I'm like, I love you. 27 minutes in, it was time-stamped. And I was like, why don't we meet up at a coffee shop sometime? She's like, why don't I meet you at your place? At 164 Paradise Way. I'm like, how do you know where I live? She's like, I know many things about you, including your father's credit card information. So then I have to type out, oh my God, because OMG hadn't been invented yet. Rough times. And I bring in my dad. He is furious. My dad cancels all of his credit cards. 30 minutes later, we get a knock at the door. It's my brother, and he just goes, Iguana Lover 69, bitches. I was incestuously chatfished. And the worst thing about this was me and my brother were never close growing up because I thought he never understood me as a person. And in the 27 minutes I talked to Iguana Lover 69, he said everything I ever wanted to hear someone say. And that is the worst possible feeling, to realize that your brother is a fucking douchebag, but an incredible listener. And so I was 15 when that happened, and I was traumatized, and at that point I was like, I just want to find real love attached to a real actual person that isn't my brother. And it happened a few months later. And I met a girl named Beth, and we started to go out, and we're sitting on a pickup truck one day, making out. This was Florida, that's how you do's. And she was like, you know, she's like, this is great. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, so when are we gonna do it? Because that's what people say before they do. You know, getting busy, do it. No one who's actually fucking says those things, just horny teenagers. And she's like, I don't like the idea of something inside me. And I was like, okay, that sounds great. Let's stay together. And we did for 6 more years. We never had sex once. Now, the weirdest part about this is being able to look at these women and just see them go, yeah, I could believe that. I completely understand. Wait, isn't she the protagonist now? I know it was a tough thing. That is not a good combination when one person's prudish and the other is respectful. That never works out. So I'm going to talk you through the years of our relationship. We started in 2000, 2001. Because I always believed that it would happen. I was like, this is going to fucking happen. 2001, got my hand over the right boob over the shirt. 2002, under the shirt, yeah! 2003, left boob, even let me get both in at the same time. It was amazing. Like, she basically like made me like explore the boobs in installments. Like, she Kill-Billed me on the boobs. She's like, I could release this as one, but you know what? I'm gonna make them wait for it and make more money. That marketing genius. So, and that's the thing. It's like I got to the first base, but I think like I don't think like I hit to first base. I think like I was walked there. You know, like I got there on a technicality when it takes that long. 2004, finally, I get to touch under the panties. She touches my dick for the first time. Now this is the thing. It didn't get hard at all because at that point it was like an old man waiting in the DMV who just believed his number was never gonna be called at all. Oh wait, it is me? Oh shit, what am I here for again? And so I'm touching around the panty region. And the thing you must know about this girl, Beth, is that her father lived next door, in the room next door, even though her parents had divorced. He was just like a sad man who listened to one song and would sing it out loud because it helped him reconcile with the divorce, and that song was A Long December by the Counting Crows. And I need to believe, and I have no proof of this, but I need to believe that the moment that she pulled the panty aside so that I could stick my finger in after 4 years of being with her is the moment in the song where Adam Duritz goes, and it was an amazing feeling. I didn't see, I was like we were both on the bed, like looking like this, you know, like looking through like a kid's pillowcase with trick or treat candy, you know, you pull out his Tootsie Rolls, like I wanted real food. And then I was like, so we're gonna have sex now. She's like, yeah, let's try it. So we go to the pharmacy, and I sent her in to buy the condoms. I can't buy condoms because, I mean, look at me. Like, I feel so bad for that cashier that would have to imagine me having sex. Like, she's making $8.75 an hour. She doesn't want to also have to deal with. So she goes in, she buys a 12-pack of condoms. I was like, why'd you buy a 12-pack? That's pretty optimistic. She's like, it was on sale. I'm like, oh, that's why we've been together. We go home, and I'm literally like, I try to put it in, and she's like, no, I don't think we can. I'm like, why? She goes, I think my vagina's too small. And first off, that's fucked up. Like, all you have to say is, I think your dick is too big. I get to feel great about myself, and I'm still not gonna fuck you because I'm not an awful person. And I'm just like, watch out, ladies. It's Excalibur. Who is worthy? So we just sit there the rest of the day, and we last together for one more year. We try to spice things up one more time. It was January 14th, my birthday, 2005. She buys erotic dice. She's like, let's try something different. You guys know erotic dice? So it's 2 dice always. One dice is like a verb, and it's always like peruse or tickle, and the other is a body part like earlobe or tummy. Like they sound like they're all like manufactured by a Midwestern couple who hasn't touched each other at all in years. Let's peruse the tummy, don't you know? You know. We're more frigid than the winters in Minnesota. So I roll the dice and I get lick inner thigh. And I'm like, yeah. I'm excited because, you know, I never saw her vagina. And I'm like, I'm gonna finally fucking see it. And she goes, yeah, sure, but I'm not taking my jeans off. And I proceeded to go down and rough in that corduroy muff. I was like, this is pretty good, you know? I had 100% cotton mouth. And as I'm doing it, she's like, you know what, I don't think this is gonna work, we should break up. And then I have to lift my head above, like, are you sure about that? We deserve to be more than friends. And we broke up. And that always bothered me. The fact I never saw her vagina. 6 years in, some of this, some of that. Never saw her vagina. So after 6 years, her vagina became like Wilson from Home Improvement to me. There were glimpses of it, but because I never got to truly see it for what it was, I gave it a power and wisdom it didn't deserve. By the end, I didn't even want to eat her out. I just wanted to seek guidance, you know? So the epilogue to this is, so we broke up. I called her about a month later to see how she was doing. She was like, yeah, I've had sex. It's pretty good. I'm like, what? She's like, remember all those times I said that it was me and not you? I think it was you the whole time. And I was like, all right. And I was upset. And I was like, you know what, though? I'm gonna one-up you. So I went on the dating website Plenty of Fish. It's a dating website named for one of Jesus' lesser superpowers. And I was like, I'm gonna find myself a woman who's seen some things. I found a woman named Gladys that is an out-of-model person. The Gladys factory hasn't produced new product in over 35 years. There's just an old man outside of it. No one goes in the Gladys factory. Her name was Gladys. It was intense. Like she was crazy. She sat on my face, which after not seeing vagina for 6 years and then just seeing too much vagina, it'd be like if your first movie was all 4 Michael Bay Transformers movies. Nothing at all, too much! She was intense. She like smacked my balls. She slobbered. She was like, does baby want some? And you know what? Like, it was crazy at the time, but it was perfect because at that point I was like, you know what? I'm not just gonna lose my virginity. I'm going to throw it away. Thank you so much, guys.